Welcome back, folks. This is the FPL Tips YouTube channel, and I am here to take you through some of the burning questions of Game Week 14. And now we have a crunch fixture period, back game weeks, and we have Game Week 15 in the next midweek, and Game Week 16 in the weekend after that. And then after that, we have four more game weeks before the end of the year. So there are plenty of question mark, plenty of injuries, discussions, plenty of other topics that are burning questions, which is why I'm here to take you through them, and I will be trying to dig as deep as possible because these are decisions that are pretty crucial and at a very crucial period of the season. So let's get started directly. First, looking at will Bowen be fit, and if not, whom to go with. The first question is, will Bowen be fit? There is a possibility that he will be fit because last week Moyes himself did mention that he should be available. He missed the weekend, he's missed the Thursday game, but there is a good chance he comes back for the weekend. But should you still stick with him? I probably lean towards selling Bowen because he does occupy a bit of money, and that money could be spread around, especially in the congestion fixture. Bowen is generally someone who would probably play all three games, but with that injury of his, he could be rested for one of the games which is in the midweek next week, or maybe even Sunday, and then play the other two games. They have a fixture of Sunday, Thursday, and Sunday, which is not as bad as a fixture congestion as some of the other teams who play on Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday. That's probably the worst. But still, it's not an ideal situation where you can rely on him. And if he's 100% fit, he'd probably play all three. But I'm not sure if he'll be 100% fit for to play all three. So I think there is probably a benching even if he's fit for the weekend. And yeah, I mean, there are certain options, alternative options. In if you don't have the man on the screen, Brian Mbumo, he's definitely like a buy this week, and he should be in most of the teams this week, coming at just 7.0 still, and he's just like superb with his underlying stats, and he's 5.23 non-pen XG in the last 6 game weeks, which is more than our main big hitters Salah, Saka, and Son. So that's big, and he's a talisman of their team. He's on penalties, and he's going to play 90 minutes. And pretty much each of these games, they don't have anything else to play, and that's in that team. Like unlike West Ham, Aston Villa, and Newcastle have Europe, so as well as Brighton, Brentford don't have any competition to play. So Brian Mbumo is top right there and should be in each and every team this week. And for the next 4 weeks, there is a question that he has game week 18 blank, but he can be either moved on or removed. He's very important for these 4 game weeks. Uh, if you already have Mbumo, then you can maybe look at a few other based on your team situation. So suppose if you have a solid defense, if you have a defense with either Gabriel or Saliba, and maybe even a Shimikas, or a Chelsea defender, Newcastle defender, then you could afford to maybe take a punt here or there, and, especially at a period where Diaby's fixtures are turning. Diaby is currently, another discussion is that Diaby might not be nailed, so it's time to maybe not have Diaby also, and Mitoma has also been out injured. He's back for the Europa League game, but still, I mean, the fixtures are not the best. Maybe he's still fine to go with Mitoma, but Eze also came off early, so there are lesser options by the day. But I think the best two options, as I keep saying, will probably be Gordon and Palmer. Uh, they are probably the best option, but there is a case of maybe going different, maybe even looking at someone like Huang, maybe looking at I think we've seen Trossard get a few minutes in the last few game weeks as well, so he could be an option. If on, like these are punty moves, I'm saying you can get in if your team has the space, but I wouldn't suggest them because there is a congestion of fixture, and you'd look at someone who'd probably play all 90 minutes. And in that sense, I think Palmer is number one and Gordon is number two, just because Gordon might miss out the odd game because he's the only winger in Newcastle, and Newcastle are already in an injury crisis. He's been very good. He's been the main player. He has had a breakthrough season. But yeah, that's where I am. Probably Mbumos first, then Palmer, then probably Gordon. These are my three options to replace Bowen. Coming to the next question, which is a very popular question, one of the most sold players this game week is HeungMin Son. Because why? You can see on the top of the screen, these are the last 3 games where Spurs have scored first and they've lost the game, and Son has blanked. And Son's XG has been around point 0.5, 0.15 in those 3 games, and yeah, except for assist, he should have come out with a return against Aston Villa because Spurs played really well and he looked sharp. And yeah, the Aston Villa's offside trap did prevail this game, and there were 3 goals of his which were disallowed just because of fractional offside call. And credits to Aston Villa, credits to people who didn't captain Son because of the offside trap reason. But still, he looks lively. He looks their main man, and you see that last 5 matches he's played 90, 90, 90, 90, 81, and this is something you want for your player coming into such a crunch period. You see the fixtures. There is Man City, West Ham, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth, all in the month of December. And he's someone who would probably play 6 90s out of 7 and maybe have a benching here, maybe have an early substitution here or there. But like you expect him to start even with, and then given Spurs injury crisis and Spurs losing 3 games in a row, he's pretty important. And there are 2 other factors. One is that Spurs have not gone to penalty yet. And more likely than not, they probably get a penalty or two in these fixtures because of the frequency of penalties being given away in the Premier League. And the other factor is that Ange Postecoglou is not gonna like hold back. You saw the team which he brought to play against Aston Villa. He didn't play Højbjerg or Skip. He played a very attacking team, and it was unlucky again. Bentancur got injured, and now Bissouma and Sarr are both back, and they played well with Bissouma and Sarr. And in that sense, I think Son is definitely someone you should hold. You should not be selling Son anytime soon because these are fixtures where he could still hurt you. Even Man City, I don't think they've been the best of defenses of late, and there could be they are going to be attacking. They are not going to sit back in Man City, and they are probably going to be attacking. And Son could nick in a return or two there. And coming up with West Ham not been good as a defense. Newcastle have a lot of fixtures to play. Nottingham Forest, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth, which are pretty good fixtures for Son to get his return. So yeah, Son is definitely a hold for at least for now, and maybe in a couple of weeks you can look again, assess it. But for now, he's definitely a hold, and he shouldn't be going anywhere out of your team. The next question, which I'd like to take, is that so coming comes for the defenders in the game. Is it time to remove Cash? Who are the replacements, and who are the defenders to own right now? So Matty Cash, who was pretty popular because he's got a brace against Burnley around game week 4, game week 5, and he's been pretty good and pretty attacking. But these are the fixtures which Aston Villa have had in the recent games. Tottenham, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Luton, West Ham, Wolves, Brighton. There are 7 games and they've not kept a single clean sheet. The last clean sheet was all the way to Chelsea away. And the next 4 games are Bournemouth away. Bournemouth are slowly getting back. Bournemouth are playing good football and they could definitely score against Aston Villa. And then Man City at home, Arsenal at home, Brentford away, which are not like you can't expect a clean sheet in these fixtures as well. Especially Villa playing a very high line. Yeah, obviously they are a good team when it comes to trapping teams offside, but they are not the best of defenses playing ahead. I mean, their numbers do look fine, but they will concede a goal every match. That's what's happening, and the fixtures are not getting any easy. So in that sense, Cash is probably a sell. But you see, like I wouldn't take a hit to remove him, especially this week because it's Burnley, and he probably could play right wing again. But he could also get that benching given the condition because he's not been playing all the Europa Conference League games. There have been benches for him as well, and that's my worry about him. He could lose a few minutes here, and also that the fixtures are not good, and there are alternatives that could be taken, and the names that come first on that list is the Arsenal defense, and because Arsenal defense have been just fantastic this season, especially in the last few game weeks, and they've kept clean sheets. They've been very solid, especially away from home. They've been super solid. And there it is. There you go. You have your Gabriel and Saliba who are pretty solid and pretty nailed. Gabriel did miss the odd game, but I'm not sure he's going to miss any other games soon enough. So Gabriel, I still at 4.9 is still the best option because Saliba is 5.5. If I had room for Saliba, I'd probably get him, but I would still keep that point 0.6 because there's not too much upside. They are just your reliable guys who would probably keep clean sheets, but there is not too much upside for that point 0.6 million right now, and I think both of them are pretty much going to start most of the games. So that means Gabriel and Saliba are my number one. And even if you have one, you can go for the other because it's a pretty good strategy to double up on them. And if you do so, and the other option who's probably popular right now is Simicast, but I mean the fixtures are really good right now for Fulham at home, Sheffield United away, and then Crystal Palace away for Liverpool. But there could be again a benching for Simicast, which is always there. But like still the upside is there. So I think Simicast is still not a bad move to go for because he's going to be the number one right back, left back at Liverpool, and these are games that Liverpool need control from the left hand side. And he was pretty good against Manchester City also, I thought. The other replacements you could keep in mind are maybe going back to Newcastle defenders, like for example, Share could be an option. Livramento played really well at left back. Uh, could definitely be an option. Again, there is a risk that he might lose minutes, and also depending on Botman's return, whether he's going to return soon or not, Lascelles is also an option. So there are a few options from the Newcastle defense, and Chelsea is someone worth waiting because from game week 16 onwards, their fixtures really turn, and for like 8-9 weeks, they have pretty very good fixtures in the list, and there could be a lot of clean sheets. And James is someone I am keeping personally an eye on to bring at that point if he is fit and can play most of the games. I think there's upside over there. So Chelsea are one to keep an eye on. But right now, if there's cash replacements, if you don't have a double Arsenal defense, that's where to go to. And coming to the next very interesting part is the Allison injury which happened in the weekend. There is a small hamstring injury for Allison, and this is what Klopp did say on the injuries. Both are out, perhaps Jota and Allison. Allison a bit lesser, so we have to see. Not day by day, he cannot play tomorrow or Sunday. Probably not the week after. Should be kind of okay. So yeah, I mean he's not given out details. If he had given out details that he's out for 5 to 6 game weeks, and with us having like 5 to 6 games, 7 to 8 games in that so 7 to 8 games in that period. If he was out for 5 to 6 weeks, and that could mean that maybe you could go for a Kelleher in the team because he's very cheap. He's at 3.9, but there is an appeal to him. There is obviously because 3.9 Liverpool's defense, and Liverpool have been third best in the last 6 game weeks, and not much. I mean, they're probably going to be a little weaker, but uh, I think that they probably will keep a couple of clean sheets in these games as well. But there are two issues with this. One is that Allison could be back as soon as Manchester United home, which will leave you only with 3 fixtures. And the other reason is that Kelleher, yeah, the other reason is that at 3.9, if you buy Kelleher and you will not have a move out, and you'll have to force him out again. And that move, there are too many transfers news over there, and you do not want him in your bench as well because given game week 24, 25, at some point Liverpool will have a double game week because of if they win their Carabao Cup fixture, and that could be a problem over there if you want to fit in that. But right now, I think he's a no-go unless you have two transfers and you want to burn them. That's when I probably go from Turner to Gallagher. That sounds like not too a bad transfer, especially if you have Ariola and Turner and you have two transfers and you don't know what to do with your transfers. Then maybe a Turner to Gallagher is not a bad option. But other than that, I wouldn't hold it. But the other question was also whom to replace if you had Allison. Then I think the best replacement right now in the game is David Ray. Um, Ramsdale was not great in the weekend. David Rea is probably going to come back directly into the team, and he's going to have he's pretty much looking as the first choice keeper. So David Rea, and with the Arsenal fixtures, with the way the team is, I think he's probably going to be the best replacement at 4.9 million. That's quite a cheap price for someone who's reliable for clean sheets and also has a good shot stopping ability. So that he is my number one, and probably the number two option would be Robert Sanchez. If you want a little more money, I think Chelsea have great fixtures coming up, and Chelsea are not being a very bad defense as well. So these are my two options if you have Allison, if you want a replacement. Finally, touching up to the most burning question of the game week, because it's one of the closest when it comes to captaincy between Salah, who's playing Fulham at home, and Haaland, who's playing Tottenham at home. Generally speaking, when you say Fulham at home for Salah, you probably want to go there, especially with the form he's been in and the number of goals and returns he's been getting, especially at home against these bottom 10, bottom 15 sides. Because he's just very reliable. And he's just always there. He's always getting involved on penalties, everything perfect. He's creating a lot of chances, which gets him a lot of bonus. But this is a game week that Tottenham will be not sitting back, as I mentioned earlier, and they don't have centre backs like Romero or Van de Ven. They're going to play Emerson Royal and Davies, which just big mismatch for Haaland. Haaland is just going to probably bully them, and yeah, City are playing at home. Haaland get a lot of chances, and it looks like me as an obvious captaincy shot, even though Salah plays Fulham at home. So to keep it very simple, I think Erling Haaland is the best captain this week. A few weeks back, I was looking at this as a game week where probably Salah could be a captain, but not anymore. This Tottenham team is deep trouble defensively, and they're not too far away. They're probably like their worst in expected goals are conceded in the last 6 game weeks and Fulham. And Fulham will have Palinia back. They'll probably sit back, and City versus Tottenham is just going to be an open game. That's the calculation which I probably going to take, and that's why I'm probably going to captain Erling Haaland, and that's why he's the best captain option for this week. Salah is definitely there, but Erling Haaland is probably the best captaincy option this week. Um, so that brings us to the end of the of the burning questions video. And if you did like the video, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. We are looking to get more subscribers and more videos coming on your way soon. And we are looking to try and get in more content in the crunch fixture congestion time. So yeah, just looking forward to it. Looking forward to a lot of great game weeks. And let us know in the comments if you have any more questions. If you want to see, if you want to listen to any other format of video you'd like to listen to from this FPL Tips YouTube channel. So signing off from the FPL Tips YouTube channel. Yeah, goodbye.